Hi. So let's talk about the Valley of the Kings. Why choose that mountain? Well, the mountain was dedicated to the goddess Isis, and Isis was the mother of Horus, and the first name of every king of Egypt was Horus. So in many ways, the king Horus is being buried in his mother's mountain. Now, if you look at the images of Isis, she appears as a human figure, but there's also a more ancient picture of her as a cow goddess. Remember, during the 12th dynasty, Senusret I reformed the clergy, and he made all the major deities of Egypt a form of Ra. That's what that round red disc above the horns of Isis, Hathor, Isis are. So in this 18th dynasty, a lot of gods were fused together. So you've had Hathor Isis and Isis on her own and that sort of thing, and second Ket Ra, etc., who's also associated with Mut. So a lot of these deities are fused together. Anyway, back to the mountain. So there are two valleys. There is the Eastern Valley and the Western Valley. The Eastern Valley had 60 tombs, and 23 of these are unknown owners. And this is where I think Ahmose the First and Amenhotep the First were buried, in one of those unknown rooms or tombs, etc. In the Western Valley, there are five known burials. So it wasn't extensively used, but maybe there are other tombs to discover in both valleys. So we know why they chose the mountain, because it was dedicated to Isis. Now, quite a few excavations have been done in the Valley of the Kings, mainly to find tombs. And one was done by Dr. Nicholas Reeves in 1998. Between 1998 and 2002, he had 4 seasons in the Valley of the Kings, and he found the original bedrock floor. So the conclusion is that when you originally walked into the Valley of the Kings on the original bedrock floor, the tombs would have been 20 meters above the valley floor, which makes them rock-cut tombs. So when you visit the valley today, you're walking on an artificial surface, an artificial floor. So where's that artificial floor come from? Well, the valley suffers with floods, and there was a flood in the 18th dynasty. And the mountain is made of rock shale, which is very fragile. And as those flash floods come down that valley, pushes that shale down, and that shale created the valley floor. Now, during the 22nd dynasty, so all of the tombs were looted, and the royal mummies were reburied in secret caches. The priests had to do that to keep the mortuary lands associated with the mortuary temples. So roughly from 945 BCE to the present date, if we said that there was a major flood in the valley every 20 years, then you've had around about 101 major floods in the valley. And I can remember going back about 20 years ago, arriving in Luxor just after they had one of these major floods, and it filled up every tomb with water. And the taxi driver was telling me that really, it was 10 meters in the Valley of the Kings for several days before the water finally drained out of the valley. Now, wow, you can imagine all the damage that's been done by the shell going into the tombs, scraping off the paintings. And I'm just thinking of those unknown tombs, those 60 unknown tombs in the Eastern Valley. Maybe that's why they've never been identified, because all of the pictures that originally there, all the names, the furniture, etc., was all taken off. So it gives you food for thought. That's the Valley of the Kings. It's going to be brought up over and over again during the 18th, 19th, and 20th dynasty, and it was used during the next intermediate period at the end of the New Kingdom as well. So don't forget to press that subscribe button, and I'll see you real soon. Bye for now.